Yo, this is Jakes Hinjari, and this is
No.
1,000,000, a million and one podcast with Mowa.
Of course.
And today we spoke about music, we spoke about ministry, we spoke about life, we spoke about passion, we spoke about love, we spoke about God, we spoke about a lot of things.
1,000,001 things
Yeah, 1,000,001 things, just like the name.
of the podcast.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace out. You did so good. Have mercy on me. Living in a fast-paced world with over 8 billion people, it's very easy to be overlooked, undermined, trampled on, and pushed aside. My name is Mowa.mi, and I'm really passionate about helping you feel seen. I really hope that this podcast and every episode that comes your way reminds you that you are truly one in a million. Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful episode of the podcast. On today's episode, I have another very special guest, and I'd just like for you to introduce yourself. So I'll not say what is not correct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My name is Jakes Hinjari.
All right.
The real name my father gave me is Jacob, but you can call me Jakes.
Really?
Yes, if you actually call me Jacob on the road, I will not answer. I don't know I'm the one.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'm Jakes Hinjari. I studied architecture in school.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a musician, music minister, artist, recording artist, music producer,
What
music director, everything music. I am the
Music
one.
producer, music director, recording artist. What's the difference between
all
a
the
music
things.
minister and a recording artist?
A music minister ministers in music.
Mm-hmm.
An artist does art with music. You can minister through art with music.
All right. I think
So-
you just kind of confused
No,
me.
I'm saying they probably all work together. For a believer, art is ministry. Do you understand?
I do.
Now music is the art I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I use it to minister to people. So I'm a music minister.
And a recording artist.
Recording artist is like is a professional term for musicians or artists, musical artists who have recorded a song, right? Like professionally recorded a song in the studio and released it.
Oh.
That's who a recording artist is. So I've released songs before, so I'm a recording artist. Do you understand?
Yes, I
So
do.
if you're an aspiring musician who has not recorded a song, you are not a recording artist.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you? Is it a term
Aspiring
for
musician. Up.
up and up? So,
No, you
it's
can,
not
you
that
can
it's not
have
up and
recorded
coming.
and still be
Aspiring.
upcoming. Do you get
You can.
upcoming?
You must have recorded, and you
You
still
can have recorded and
Okay.
still be upcoming because people don't know you. You understand? Or
Oh.
your music has not made that much impact yet. But then, I said an aspiring musician who has not recorded a song, or even a musician, an actual musician who has not recorded and released a musical piece. I can call it like a musical product now.
be.
Do
Okay.
you get? Because basically what production does is it takes music and makes it like literally a product. Of course, probably virtual or on CDs, like hard copy or whatever it is. But it takes ideas, musical ideas, and make them into a product. That's what music production does. So if you've gone through that process of music production, you now have a song that is a product, or musical art that is a product, because it doesn't always have to be song with lyrics and melody like we know. It can just be a musical piece.
Like
Right.
a composition,
Uh,
just instruments.
so the person that composes it, if it was recorded, can still be called a recording artist.
Wow.
It's easy to understand.
It is actually. It's just that I've never thought about it that way. But you said
Yeah.
you are a musical director, a music director.
Yeah, music directing is basically how you help people, or you can create pieces, like compose pieces musically, then communicate it through teaching, right, to a choir or a band or even an individual, right? That's directing music, the art of you get communicating whether composed or arranged music already, right, to whoever is going to be performing it, whether an individual, a group of people. You
Funny
understand?
enough, every time I've heard the word musical director. I've always imagined choir master.
Yes, technically, a choir master is still a music director. You get, because he has a choir that he's conducting, telling what to do. This, do it like this, do it like that. You can teach and you can conduct the what's the word now? You can conduct the presentation of that musical piece. You get?
I do.
So a choir master is actually a music director, but a music director is not limited to a choir. Like an individual who is an artist can have a personal music director.
Okay.
You get? So anytime they have musical pieces they are thinking of, maybe they've composed it or arranged it, and they need somebody with vast musical knowledge. Of course, that's something that has to be true for a music director. You have to know music, right? They can call their music director and say, okay, I've done this, what do you think about it? What can I do to make it better? So it's kind of like a coach in some sense.
Musical
but it's not
coach.
Yes, but it's not limited to that, right? It's a bit broader than just coaching. But coaching can fit in somehow under what a music director does. Music coaching now.
So do you have like
So
a
it's
choir?
not purely a teacher. Huh?
So I was asking, like, do you have like a choir?
Personally,
Yes, like, because you're a musical director, do you have a choir?
okay, I direct
coordinate?
music, not necessarily just with choirs. Of course, I work with choir worship team. I'm not the music director in choir worship team, right? But I've had instances where I've had to direct the choir, right? And then I run a personal ministry, worshiper circle, right?
Alright.
Music ministry. I've directed music there. Practically every month I have to direct music because we learn new songs, and learn new songs have to do with teaching the new songs, creating harmonies, arrangements, and helping the people. I might not do it actively on stage when I'm leading the song, but in rehearsals I get to fully do that role, right? But then besides those ones, every single time I have a session with artists, many times I'm doing directing, especially when it is voicing. You know what voicing, recording the singer's voice. When I'm doing that, usually it has to do with a lot of directing, basically. So yes, I don't have it. It's not just choirs you direct. So I'm always directing people.
Okay, this is supposed to be a funny question. Just crossed my mind as you said you used to direct people. Have you ever had an instance where someone comes into the studio and the person cannot sing, but the person wants to record the song?
Well, cannot sing is subjective. Do you mean like he can't even put one note on key?
Yes.
No, I've not. It's not been that bad.
Okay.
I've had people who are not too good. Do you understand? The ones that will hit flats and sharps here and there, right? But then not to the point of like there's nothing. No, I'll not even produce you. Most likely, I'll advise you
But how then do you manage those people
that
cannot really sing?
cannot really or cannot at all.
No, you said you've not had experience with people that cannot at all.
Okay, so the ones
people
that cannot really
sing like that.
I know a little bit of vocal coaching also. So to the degree that I can, I will help them, right? If it just has to be about maybe techniques, vocal techniques, I hope these things I'm saying are not too technical, right? But then
If you have to do some riffs and runs and have to do
when I say techniques of singing, like how to project your voice well, right? Because many things will affect how you sound, right? The shape of your mouth, you get how you pronounce your words, right? Then how you use your resonance cavities from
for dummies, people that don't know what
Sorry.
resonance cavity
how you use your mouth and
your chest.
You know
your
that thing that
breathing.
they say sing from your stomach.
Oh yeah.
All those things, right? I can counsel on how to make the most, do you get,
out of it.
of those tools you have to produce good vocal this thing. But I can't teach you how to sing as it were. Like you have to have some level of
expertise
or gift, right? Know how to do something, then I can help you express it better, right? So in cases where I've had people that they have something but it's not there, I'll counsel them and advise them on things they can do even during the session to help them give a better delivery, right? And then there's this is a trade secret, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Okay.
There's something we do in music production called pitch correction.
Ooh.
So pitch correction is when you hit a flat. And a flat means you don't hit the exact note, like you are below the note, or a sharp above the note. I can adjust the note for you after recording when I'm editing, so that it's not exactly on the note.
Is that why people sound different when they're on stage than the song that is?
Yes, for some people they sound better in the recorded song than live music on stage, because nobody is correcting anything live. You are hearing them for who they are, right? But in the studio, I can fix your voice small. So that's not something I will necessarily tell them, that because many of them, they are hitting flats and sharps unconsciously. They don't even know that it's flat.
Yeah.
They think they did well. So I'll just allow them assume they did well. Then I'll fix it. So by the time I give them their final job, it's fixed. So at least I'm sure of the fact that you will not hear a song that carries my name as the producer.
Not that the guy was singing off key. You know them to disgrace you. Like, who produced that song? But then you do like emotional, what's it called? Because you said you'll be the one to edit the song and then you just give them the final product. But then you go, oh, you can do it. Maybe you should try better. All those things. Yes,
I do it. It happens that many times the people I record, probably because I'm a worship minister also, happen to be worship ministers and gospel artists. Do you get? So there's a plane on which we can relate in terms of why you are doing what you are doing, right? So most times how I encourage people, how I help them do better, right? In terms of now not necessarily musical delivery, but the soul of what they are singing, is to remind them why they are doing it, right? And then give them tips on, for instance, I'm recording you, I'll tell you, don't think you are in a studio. Assume you were ministering to people, right? How will that affect your delivery? And it actually works like magic many times. You now see that they are now open themselves. To really bless people, and then they give their best delivery that way.
That's beautiful. Have you ever had to record any secular artist?
Yes, I have. I've recorded a secular artist. I don't know if it's just once. There's one that stands out, but I don't remember. I've been doing this thing for a while.
Okay.
Right? I'm very sure I've recorded a secular person, but I can't say. It's very rare, right? It's very rare.
Is it intentional?
That I recorded him.
No, that you don't record secular artists.
It's the people that come to me.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Most of the people that come to me are people that love Jesus and believe in Jesus like I do, right? They say likes attract. I guess it's one of the reasons. But I've never in my career of over 10 years in music production, I've never come out to say I am a gospel music producer.
Actually,
never. I'm just a music producer, right?
Anybody that wants to come should come.
Yeah, then the right people, not like secular people, are wrong people.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
The type of people, right, that resonate with what I do come to me. If a secular guy comes to me, I'm going to produce him, right? I personally don't have a conviction necessarily that says I can't produce a secular guy. But then, of course, there are limits to certain things you identify with, things that you put your name on, right?
Yes.
Because if you come to me with a secular song and it's actually saying things that contradict my convictions, for instance, and are vulgar, let's assume you come and you are insulting Jesus in this song, right? Why will I record you? I will not record you. Do you understand? I will not record you. If you come to my studio with a song, in fact, insulting anybody, I will not record you. Do you understand? I will not put my name produced by so person, right? Produced by me or recorded at my studio or wherever it is. I will not do that. So whatever the person is singing has to a certain level resonate with the things that I believe and what I think people will not necessarily be offended by, right, if it comes from me. And it's not even everybody, because there are some people that are offended with the fact that you are even a believer. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people whose opinion matter to me. You understand? There are some people whose opinion they should just do their day, right? It's not contributing to my emotional, spiritual, physical, mental any type of well-being. Do you
Yeah.
understand? They don't have a stake in my life. Do you understand? But then there are certain people that I believe that it matters, right? The type of perception they have about me, right? And this is not just necessarily, let's say, people that I look up to or people that I answer to, people that are like mentors or senior friends or whatever. I mean, even people that I'm sent to. There are some people that I'm sent to that my message will only hold water in their lives if they can't associate me with certain things. But if they begin to see certain things, then it affects my ministry even in their lives. Do you get? So it's not because I'm afraid that my pastor will say, who told you to produce that song? Do you understand? Yes.
Talking about studio, since you're already here, have you had any dramatic scene in the studio? Say someone comes to record a song and something funny or dramatic happens, or two people are supposed to voice a part and then something happens. Have you ever had a funny or dramatic experience?
Well, there are definitely times that stuff has happened, but of course, because I have clients that I would like to keep confidential, and I have people that I work with, I'm not going to mention any names or stuff, but one of the things that being a music producer exposes you to is how much people can hide when they're in the crowd, because when it's in the studio it's just you and the mic, so I can hear everything you are doing, right? So in a typical setting now in church, you have a choir singing a song on stage, a choir of maybe 5, 6, 10 people singing the same song, and everybody's singing. So most times there are certain things you will not notice, like who sang off key, who sang flat, who chopped mouth.
Actually, then when it comes to the studio, you see that I thought you actually knew
and
the
then
song.
some of them will come to the studio with the same mindset. And then we'll miss lyrics and just continue like you are singing.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
And then sometimes they don't even know that
what they are doing is.
They don't even know that I'm actually recording. Of course, they are hearing the full music in their ear. They are hearing other voices. They are hearing instruments. Yes, so it's full. So I guess they don't imagine that it's only their voice I'll hear when I'm mixing it, right?
Yes.
So when I'm mixing, I hear some things sometimes, and I'll just laugh to myself because, of course, I'm the only one there that is mixing. But then things like that, sometimes, of course, I'll gist about it with my people, studio people randomly. But then, and sometimes I actually tell the artist, let me play something for you. Then I'll just cut the place and play it. Then they share it, right? Of course, not to mock them, right? It's not everybody I'll play it for like that. I'll discern the type of person and our level of relationship, of course, then you know whether I should do that. But those are things that you experience every now and again, and then you see different things. Like I said, because some of the things should be confidential, I'm not going to discuss so much, but then you see different characters, right? When you come to the studio, you see the ones that say they heard a sound in their dream. This is not the sound they heard. This what you are playing, that's not what it is. Or after you finish the audio, say they heard something again tomorrow, they want to add it to the song.
Wow.
You meet all types of people. Then you meet the ones that never get. I used to tell people, music creation is something you decide to stop, because inspiration is like a never-ending river. It keeps flowing, right? So if I take one song, I can keep adding to it till infinity. I have to decide that, okay, I have a vision for this song. This is what I want to achieve with it. If I reach it, I'll stop. Because if not, you will keep adding. So like people will keep telling me, I heard this one in my dream, I want to do this one. I say, okay, at this point, we cannot continue, right? The aim will be defeated, because it's not just about fooling the song with all the concepts you know in the world, right? It's a message you are trying to pass through your song. Right, so know when to stop and stop there. I don't even know how I got here.
That's what I wanted to ask. Like, how would you know? Because you, for example, you have artists that come and then they have you to tell them that, okay, the plan, you're already moving out of the boundaries of the plan, so let's just stop here. But for someone who doesn't necessarily have like a coach or a producer, when do they know when to stop adding to the song?
You probably cannot know except you are experienced in this thing. How you grow musically. No, I don't just mean in the skill of musical performance, right? I mean, there are many other aspects of music that are not exactly performance, like music directing we spoke about, right? There's something called music arranging, right? That is different. Arranging and composition is different from performing music, right? And those ones are largely behind the scene. There are skills a musician should also have, but not everybody will have it. Many of the artists we celebrate globally are not necessarily responsible for those aspects of their music creation. Many of them, right? Many of them have other people write their songs, have other people arrange their songs, right? All they come with is their sweet voice.
Wow.
Yes, there are people like that. In fact, there are hits that we celebrate globally, right? That is not them that wrote. Beyonce, many of our songs she didn't write them. Even our Michael Jackson. I'm saying Michael Jackson because it's like the greatest pop star of all time.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. Right?
Okay.
Even people like him, there are some of these things that he didn't do. He still had a music director. Do you understand?
I understand.
People who are responsible for arrangement and all that. So those are skills that are not so the fact that I'm a singer doesn't mean that I have to know all these things. That's why we have other professionals here, music producers, you get vocal coaches to help you. But not to say that as a singer you can't know. You get some people are, by reason of experience and exposing themselves to the right material, working on themselves and growing, they are gifted across many, right? Like personally, I'm also a singer. I'm an artist, right? I'm a music producer still. I still direct. Songs. Do you get? I write songs. Do you get? All these things are skills that can exist independently, right? But then all of them together now help my journey as a musician and music artist. Do you get?
I do.
So for them, I would encourage that keep working on your craft, expose yourself to a lot of material, learn from the things you expose yourself to. Don't just listen to songs like every other person for entertainment. When you listen, what am I learning from this one? Do you get? What am I picking from this particular song? What can I okay, they stopped, the song is 2 minutes long. Why is it 2 minutes long? Why didn't they make it 7 minutes long? Ask questions like that. Do you get? You can ask yourself. Sometimes you find the answers, and sometimes you need to ask others. But I think it starts with asking yourself, because if you don't ask yourself, you don't even know that you can ask others, right? So have the questions, because that's how you grow, right? When you have the questions, then they said whenever a student is prepared or somebody is ready to learn, the teacher always shows up. Yeah, right? There's something like that. So have the questions as you expose yourself to stuff. Eventually you find answers. So it might take a while, but eventually you can know. Do you understand? There's no formula that will give you and say when you've added 5 instruments the soundtrack is full. No, every song is unique, every musical piece is unique, how you express it is unique, right? So you consider a lot of factors beyond just the music. What am I saying? Who am I saying it to? Do you get? All those type of things are things you will look at, then they will tell you this is where to stop. There are songs I've produced for myself that maybe were just piano and my voice, or maybe acoustic guitar and my voice, right? And I know that's all that one needed, and
it's full and it's
you
complete.
Get? That's what it needed to express the song properly, right? But then there are other songs I produced that I don't even know how many instruments they had. Lead guitars, many keyboards. You get? There's the normal piano, there is percussion instruments, full drum set, bass guitar. Do you get? A lot of instruments, right? And many vocals. You understand? Like background vocals and all that. Because that song required that, right? So somehow instinctually, because music is both an art and a science, right? What differentiates arts from science is that science works just based on formulas, laws, principles, and that. Art also has principles and all that, but it's largely spontaneous. A lot of things are things you feel, there's the science behind it, but it's science that is too high for us to understand. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I do.
So you look at creation and it looks like God is a master artist, but if you break down, you see that there is science inside it, because scientists will tell you that if you look at maybe molecular structure, and that one is even too scientific. When you look at maybe the pattern on leaves, do you understand? Like there is a pattern somehow.
Yeah.
It looks random, but it's not really random, right? But it's art. That's what art is. Art looks like it's not calculated, but it's just that it's too high for us to be able to calculate and explain. You just say, I feel like I should do this, but actually there's an explanation. If you do it this way, it affects people this way, their emotions will respond this way. So there's a science to it. It's just that it's science that is too high. You understand?
I do.
So it's the same thing with knowing when to stop. Somehow you just know that I think this will do best if it is here, right? And it's higher levels of, I don't want to use words now that we, but really there's this thing, people that practice meditation and all these things that call enlightenment, right? You become aware of your higher self and all that. At that point you are able to discern things that are more spiritual than they are physical. And I have a school of thought.
Okay,
I believe I believe that science is just spirituality that we can explain.
I think I agree with you on that.
Do you understand? Because 100 years ago, if I was holding a phone with somebody's face that is in Lagos on it, my village people call me a wizard or a witch.
True.
But now it's technology, which is science. You get? In 100 years time, there will be holographic projections maybe, where I can be in Lagos and they will project me in Kaduna. You see me physically. 100 years ago, they will say,
it is witchcraft.
You are disappearing.
What's called the dibia.
Do you understand?
Your spirit,
but then in 100 years time, maybe science that we can explain. Do you get? So that's why I feel it is. At the end of the day, everything is spiritual, right? But then there are certain things that you don't have to say, okay, I'm pressing in for the spiritual, because we already know the principles that guide them, right? And guide them. For when to stop, for instance, it's still some levels of creativity requires that you transcend what you can explain. Like it has happened to me. I've written songs that I didn't even know I know what I wrote. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Things that you are not consciously aware of that you wrote, that when you listen to it, you'll be like, wow, this is actually true. I've written songs that, of course, I'm a believer, but I'm trying to not limit this to just believers.
Yes.
Do you understand? I've written stuff that it was, because I'm a music minister, I've written songs that it was when a word minister came to preach that I understood the song that I wrote. But somehow I actually knew it, probably in my spirit. Do you get?
Yeah.
But my mind has not been transformed to the place where I can interpret it, right? I was able to communicate it somehow. I was able to hear it from the realm of the spirit and bring it here, right? But it's not because I necessarily understand it yet, right? So at the end of the day, spiritually, you know when to stop.
I think I believe you on that.
Thank God you're a writer. You've written stuff, right?
Yes, I have.
I'm like, Mowa, are you the one that wrote this thing?
Do you know, I when people tell me I'm a writer, I'm just like, no, I'm not a writer. I just used to carry my book and Bible and write things, because if you had to grade me based on writers, I don't think I fit in. But then it's all good. You seem to have a lot of knowledge, and I believe that's why I wanted us to have this discussion on music and all that. Yeah. And you mentioned that you studied architecture. Yeah. So of course the question is there. Why did you move from architecture to music?
All right. Many people think because I don't practice architecture today.
Yeah.
I say I'm gifted for it, but I don't practice it really, because I discerned that the area God was calling me was more towards music, right, than towards architecture. I've also always been gifted musically. I wasn't always skilled, but I was always gifted. For as long as I can remember, I've had good ears, and I think for every musician, that's the most important gift.
Yeah.
Right, the ability to hear a thing and know it sounds better. Do you understand? Than something else, right? So I've always had that ear. Everything I am today musically is an offshoot of that ear that I have. Do you get? So I learned how to sing by listening to myself sing and singing it better the next time. I didn't always have people say, wow, you have a lovely voice, I love your voice. It wasn't always like that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes I had a very average voice, right? But then doing it over and over and over and over and over again, it became fine-tuned, of course, because I could hear when it wasn't sounding nice and make sure I avoid things that made it not to sound nice the next time. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Right? Anyways, that's by the way. I'm talking about architecture. And I've also always loved architecture. I was born in Kaduna, capital city of Kaduna State. That's
like
why
Kaduna. Okay.
I was born in Kaduna and I grew up there. Growing up, we had uncles that would come to the house. Some of them were studying architecture then. That's the one I can remember. This is way back as before I was 10 years old.
Okay.
As probably early, I think I can remember to as young as 7, 8, right? I will see their drawings in the house and it interests me. Wow, this is nice. This is lovely. Of buildings, of course. But then I was drawn not just to drawing buildings, but art generally. I'm actually a very good. If I took a course in school as a fine artist, I would have done exceptionally well still. Right, so I'm good with drawing. Like I can draw you as you're sitting there like this. Something I've not used in a long time. I've not practiced it, but it's something that I still have. You get? So I was gifted artistically also. So from that young, I knew I wanted to be an architect when I grew up. So that time it wasn't about necessarily what is God saying. I'm a boy. I mean,
you just want to do what you want to do.
At that point, you just want to. Life has no. You are not thinking about consequences or anything.
Actually,
right? I wasn't even officially born again because I gave my life to Christ a bit later, like range 12, 13 thereabout. Unlike many people, I don't know the exact dates. 7th of so days.
I don't think
I gave my
I know
life
the
to Christ.
year. I think I can remember the month, but I can't remember.
I remember the place, the time, the date, the meeting that was happening, but I didn't cram the date. You get? It didn't occur to me as of then that people used to cram the dates they gave. I was a boy. You get? I was just 12 or 13. So all that I needed to know was I had given my life to Christ, and then I was going to become serious with God and all that. So as far as destiny and hearing God and working with the Lord is concerned, it hadn't started happening as of when I had my initial passions for architecture, right? So going with that passion, actually besides architecture, the only other thing I would have been able to study in school would be music. They are the only two things I love with that much passion, right? Really, they are the only two things I love with that much passion. So being that in Nigeria, conventional professions, you don't see music among them, right?
The educational system, I don't even think it allows for you to learn and be a professional at music.
And so naturally, I just studied architecture. I applied architecture, studied it in school. But in the process of studying till when I finished and all that, my journeys with God will lead me to really discovering that, okay, I have a ministry in music. It's beyond just I love music. Do you get? Because I've always loved music. But then I will now know that I have a ministry. And then both architecture and music are very time demanding.
Yes.
If you are really going to do them, right? So it's hard to combine the two. Hopefully in the future, I hope to eventually use my my architecture knowledge, right? In probably real estate or something like that. Right, but I'm not going to actively practice, like take a 9 to 5 doing archi, right? Sketching drawings and doing all that. I might never do that. I might freelance here and there. Even that one, I don't know, but yes, I will, hopefully. But then full time, I'm doing music ministry, music production, anything music, right? It's both a career and ministry for me, right? So that's why I'm not practicing architecture really. It's not because I don't like it. I still love architecture. If today God says, okay, you've done enough music, I will go back to architecture and not feel like
You've lost anything.
Do you get? My life will not be miserable. I'll still live a fulfilled life. Do you understand?
Of course.
I love architecture that much.
Wow. But then how? Let's say because you said you had started music right from when you were in school. Did you say
not necessarily start, but been drawn to music, loved music.
So then, how? Because the next question would be for someone who, of course, doesn't have as much knowledge. Where do they start from? What are the books, resources? Of course, you say go online and learn, but you know when there's a lot of knowledge, sometimes you don't even know where to start from. So
for every musician, I think more important than the materials you are consulting is the passion you have for music.
All right.
You have to love music. You get? If you don't love music, it doesn't matter the amount of. They should open Kill, Kashim Ibrahim Library, Abu Zaria, and pour it in your head, right? What of musical material? You still probably are not going to be a good musician, because it's just like I said. Beyond the science of music, there's the art, right? And the art is not just something we learn in books and all that. There's a balance. So there's a place for learning all that. Do you get? Right?
Yeah.
There's a place for learning all that, and you can learn. But then I'll say first and foremost, build a passion, right? Love for music, right?
Yeah.
Love music. How do you build love? Is how you build love for any other thing. Two people in love were not born in love necessarily. In fact, even the love you have for your mother was probably developed because you spent 9 months inside her stomach.
Really? Okay, yes, there's that.
And then as a baby, you probably had to learn to love your father.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes.
Before. So I'm just trying to say that you can build love for music, right? By intentionally spending time with music.
Listening to songs,
First and foremost, build love and passion for music. Listen to a lot of music. Do you get? I think probably one of the things that helped me grow in passion for music was the fact that I was born in a family where there was
a lot.
We didn't have musicians necessarily. My dad was not a musician. My mom was in the church choir, classical choir, of course. She did choir and she did Zumunta Mata, yes, right? But then I've always known how to be a soprano singer or stuff like that, right? So there's that part. But my dad loved music, so we always had tapes at home. We had tapes. We had VHS cassettes now of groups.
Yeah, I
bands.
don't know what that is.
You don't know what cassette is?
No.
Cassette. VHS is the player. VHS is the one that plays video cassette.
Oh.
You know there's video cassette,
yes.
there's audio cassette.
Yes.
So the video one. No, I'm not that old. I didn't come and meet my dad using turntable.
I actually thought that's what you were talking about,
No.
like the Vine.
Yeah,
the vinyl
no,
that they
vinyl,
call it.
Yes, that one.
That's it.
Yes, so we grew up with a lot of music around the house, right?
Okay.
So naturally, I believe those were the things that formed my passion for music. So I loved music. So for everyone, I'll say spend a lot of time with music first. Build a passion for music, right? When you build that passion, it will drive you to the it's like we said earlier, right?
Yeah.
When the student is prepared or ready,
the teacher will show up.
Right? Do you get? So your passion can be what drives you to grow now musically. Do you get? I like sharing this, right? I played the keyboard, but before I learned how to play keyboard, I couldn't afford a keyboard. And it's not something I could explain to. I was sent to study architecture in school. I can't say send me money, I want to buy keyboard. You don't understand. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my first keyboard was a sketch I made on top a cardboard paper. I used it to rehearse musical keys.
So you drew the keyboard on the cardboard and then you labeled it and then you
I drew a keyboard, black and white keys. I didn't have to label it because I knew what represents what.
Okay. Then you were mimicking.
I would imagine the sound in my head.
Wow.
And just use it to train my fingers. So when I saw an actual keyboard and I played the keyboard, when I saw an actual keyboard and played the keyboard, it will actually sound. Do you get? That's passion driving me. There are some people now who tell you they want to learn keyboard. They have access to YouTube, to people playing and all that, but they are still not. I didn't have access to YouTube. I didn't have access to a keyboard. I was determined to learn a keyboard because I love music. I needed to express music, right? If you love music and you are creative, naturally you have a lot of music inside you that you need to communicate. One of the ways you communicate is the level of your skill, the level you've developed your skill musically, right? You can have the music in your head, but you don't have the requisite skill to communicate it. So for me, that time was a passion to how do I express this music that is inside me, right? It led me to do that, right? I learned how to play the guitar by myself. I was in a group when we were in secondary school. We bought a guitar, a musical group. We bought a guitar together. The guitar was staying with me. None of us knew how to play guitar, but we got one. It was staying with me. I had one class with somebody who knew how to play the guitar and told me, this is how you play do. He taught me. No, he didn't even show me fingers. He just told me, the first note, there's what we call the numbering system in music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he says 1 is for do, 3 is for mi, 5 is for so. That's how you play a major chord. 1 is for do, flat 3. This I know it's technical, right? It's for mi flat. 5 is for so. That's how you play a minor. So I used that information, one class of probably a few minutes, to learn how to play the guitar. So it was just my determination, right? My commitment, and largely it was by ear. I'll put my finger. This one doesn't sound right. This one doesn't sound like it to go with that one.
And that's because you have spent a lot of time listening to music, so you knew what it was supposed to sound like.
Yes, because I love music and I was passionate about it. I had an idea. I told you my greatest gift has always been my ears, right?
But some people, they are tone deaf.
So maybe they are not called to music. It's not everybody that's called to music.
Okay.
But then even that one, I don't believe, right? Maybe they just haven't exposed themselves enough, right? That there are really people that are tone deaf. Because if you can tell the difference between my voice and a lady's voice, you are not tone deaf. Because that's what makes the difference in our voice.
Yeah.
Pitch difference.
Yeah.
And that's what music is about, is pitch. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there are probably no people that actually exist that are tone deaf. It means you hear everything the same way. Do you understand?
I've been in a particular setting where the people are, let's say the choir, they are singing on a particular key. This person starts, this is just one line of the song, starts on the key, moves to another key, moves to another key, and it's just, I'm like, are you hearing yourself? So for those kind of people, I'm like, that's why I actually do believe that there are people that
they are
tone
not
deaf.
necessarily tone deaf, right? They are not tone deaf.
Is it that they are not paying as much attention?
Yes, it's very possible. And like I said, the more you spend time with a thing, the more you know the thing, right? And it's not just about whiling away time, it's consciously spending time, intentionally spending time, right?
Okay.
Remember, I spoke about learning from exposure and experience, right? So when you expose yourself to your music, be intentional about learning, right? So many people just spend time not consciously to learn or grow, right? And so they don't increase. Do you understand?
I do.
They are the same way they were. So I feel the issue of tone deafness is largely
attention deficit.
It's largely a function of, yes, we are not paying enough attention, right, to listening and all that. If you can, it's that basic. If you can differentiate my voice and Mowa's voice, you are not tone deaf.
I'll choose to believe you, because I know there are some people that, well, they say I have a masculine voice, so there's that. But there are people that when you speak, you're like, is that a guy speaking?
Well, you don't have a masculine voice. Sorry, ma.
Okay, my voice is not as feminine as other ladies' voice.
Yeah.
Do you get? So there's that. Besides that, we spoke about expressions, and one of the things I wanted to delve into, because I know you write music, write songs.
Yes.
One of the questions I would have asked, which is quite random before we start delving into songwriting and all of that, is where's the weirdest place that you've received inspiration for a song?
I was watching in Paladan in Angon Fulani. That's where I received the inspiration for the verse of, in fact, this actual line. I cast my crown before.
Really?
Some people think I was in the secret.
Yeah, you were.
Of course, the song started coming from actually a time of worship. The chorus came, the chant came, but the verse, that I cast my crown, I heard it. I was walking on the road in between, if you know Paladin in Zaria, between the transformer. There's one school if you are coming out from and we know the place.
Yes.
By the transformer,
the
that
road.
long street along that road, that's where it came. Right, that's where the verse of that song came. So that's one place, right? I've had inspiration everywhere. There's literally nowhere I've not had inspiration. Name the place. Nowhere in my life. I've had inspiration everywhere. Inside keke, on the road, inside bathroom, inside kitchen. I am sleeping everywhere. It floods me. Like
quick digressive question. Where? Oh, it was just here. It's still about writing songs. Church question was just here. Now that I want to ask it, you just disappeared. I know where you're coming from. What's the weirdest place that you've ever written a song? So let me just ask this one.
Yeah.
So what's like your best line in one of the songs you've written?
That's difficult.
Or most personal line?
It's very. You know why it's difficult?
Why?
First of all, almost every song that I ever make public to some level is very personal. Do you understand?
Alright.
It's something I'm training myself to do. If I was fully just an artist and not a minister, I would have been different. I can say, okay,
you just want
what
to be
we
dishing
said,
out songs.
do you understand?
Yeah.
What can I do to that people will like? I rarely think like that, right? Because it's a ministry for me, right? So it has to be something that ministers, they say this for worship leading, that you can't take people to a place where you've not gone.
Have not been. Very
Do you get?
true.
So I'm not trying to just write, I worship you, I worship you, I worship you. You see this thing I sang?
Yeah.
If it was a song, it'd probably be a hit too. You know why? It's simple to craft.
And then you can just put some melodies and
Do you get?
it. Wow.
So it's difficult for me to do that. They don't feel authentic and genuine. So the stuff that I actually put out and call this my song, or officially say, okay, this is now a song, are things that are usually very personal. So it's very difficult for me to say, this is my best or my most, do you get?
Yeah, I do.
Personal of lines that I've written, right? The way people will respond to different things is different. So but for me, it's largely from the same place, probably. Do you understand?
I do.
Largely from the same place. Different experiences birthed different songs. And it's almost like I have 5 children. Every time, which one do I love most? That's
Some
how it
people
feels.
love one the most, or they show more care and
Personally,
affection
right?
on one.
Personally, I have a team of ministers. For those of you who are listening to this online, we are not alone in this room. Some of my guys, this guy that is sitting here plays keys for me. If you ask him which songs are my favorite songs, he can't tell you. Can you tell her?
He said no.
Because every time we go out to minister, it's almost like a different experience. Do you get? I minister as I feel the Holy Spirit is leading and as it resonates with me. It's very difficult for me to say there's no one song that they know this one is my song.
You must. It's your hit jam.
In fact, even that one that is a hit in the sense of people know it all over the world and all that. I don't think I've sang it this year in any illustration. Do you get? That's how it is for me. So people can even look at it and say, I think that's the song he loves, right?
Yeah.
Only to come around me and be shocked that
it's not what it is.
So I first and foremost is, if I am not feeling the lyrics on a spiritual level, right, I probably will not put it out. Whether it's a worship song or is an inspirational song, because I also write motivational inspirational songs.
You write for people?
I do, but for myself is what I'm talking about now. You've heard my song Mowa.mi?
Yes.
That's inspirational, motivational. Do you get? It's not.
Yeah, true.
Then you've heard Never Alone. Is inspirational, motivational too. Do you get? Like Never Alone was from a personal place. People think I was just singing to it's my exact contemplations. Do you get? This journey can become overwhelming. Do you understand?
True.
Especially when you know what you can do to be alright. Do you understand?
Actually, you can just put one and one together.
Do you get? You don't
know
have to. You are not going to sino. You are not going to do in quotes. Do you understand? You just do this and do this and do this, and some cool
cash
will be entering. Do you understand? But then you can't do that because of your journey. Do you get? So like Never Alone for me was still a very personal song. Same thing with Mowa.mi. Do you get? It's a journey, right? Like Mowa.mi was just saying, I depend on the Lord, right? Not in a very worshipful context.
Actually.
Do you get? In a context that more people can relate with and all that.
Besides, the beat was even different.
Yeah, it was Afrobeat, right? And some people actually think that I do very well with Afrobeat, that I should consider putting out more. Well, my biggest problem usually is I don't just wake up and feel like I want to put out a song till I'm convinced.
That's because you are a minister.
Do you get? Till I'm convinced that, okay, maybe the time will come that the Lord will say, okay, now I really want you to push this thing as an artist, as a career. Then I will do the typical things artists will do. You understand? You were saying that I write for others.
They do what?
You were asking, I write for others too.
Yes,
right?
yes.
I do. I write for people for money.
How much? Wait, if you want to write a song for me, how much would that be?
In dollars or in naira? I can write a normal simple song for you at $50.
All right.
Or 35k in naira.
As at current exchange rate too.
Yes.
Okay.
If you are paying me in naira, you can pay 35k, but if it's dollars, it's $50. I don't know. The exchange rate can be 35,000, it can be 40,000 tomorrow, it can be anything, right? But that's how I do it. I also co-write, meaning you have written a song, but you need somebody to you feel add. Something is missing. I do that also. That one is, you will pay me 25,000 or no 20,000 or $25.
So that means writing, the whole musical process is expensive.
It is.
Because you can't just, the way people dish out songs.
Do you understand? It's creativity. It's the most expensive things on earth are intellectual property.
True.
I believe so. You can't put a price tag on them. This is a compensation. This 50k, this
for time and
you understand?
And
to honor my investment. Do you understand? True. That's just what it is. It's like an honorarium. It's not really a payment. The only thing with honorariums is you don't put a price tag for honorarium.
Well, you are putting a price tag.
I'm just putting it to weed out unserious people. Do you get?
True.
Because you say you're writing some 5,000, you will not see time for your life. And you not say you will not write for some people. They will say, why is it me that you will not write for? You start spoiling your name. So it's better we just sieve out serious people. Do you get? That's the idea for now. And of course, based on the value I place on my time, right? How much time it will take me to write a song and all that, which is amazingly not a lot of time
for you, right?
Like I can write a song. If you wanted us to write a song during this thing, we can write it, but we'll not do it.
You write a song for the podcast.
We will not. You pay me money.
I'm just joking, no. But then I would like to ask, what was like the first song you ever wrote?
I think maybe I can't remember which is exactly, but a group of songs I can remember will probably be at age I can't say for sure, but between 10 and 11. Really? Yes.
Do you remember what it sounds like?
Can't really remember. Let me see whether I can remember anyone. Holy Spirit, tell me.
Jesus loves me.
No, it's not a childish. It's not a children's song. I know I was young, but I wasn't always. I don't think I was ever a child, really. I was a child, of course, but I feel like my mind has always been older than me.
Yes, actually. Let me not say what I'm trying to say.
I'm trying to find one of the songs. My memory is failing me. I can't remember. I used to remember them sometimes, but I can't remember right now.
So then, let me ask you this question. If you could pick between songwriting and singing, which would you pick and why?
I'll probably pick songwriting.
Why?
100 times before I pick performance. Because there's a way I connect with with writing, right? The truth is you can't separate the two really, right? Because what makes songwriting is not just the writing, it's the song part, and the song part has to do with singing. Do you get? Or music at least, right? So if you are going to write a song, you have to think about the melodies, right? What will express the melody best. So it's not just about lyrics. Lyrics expressed in the wrong melody will not be impactful. Do you get? So you have to find the right melodies that suit the lyrics also, right? But then I feel like there is a weight that lyrics carry, right? That I resonate with beyond just what it sounds like. Do you get?
I do.
So I'll probably trade just the sound for writing.
Really?
Abi? I said it's correct grammar, but
Yes, now you.
if I had to trade one,
Yes.
I'll probably trade singing.
Okay.
Yes. Why?
Okay. No. Because I was about to ask you, because you mentioned that you do worship circle, and that's like, of course, you sing. Okay. For those who do not know what worship circle is, just briefly explain what worship circle.
Worship circle is a worship meeting we have seasonally, not seasonal, like monthly. Typically, some months we don't have it, but at least the plan is to have it at least once a month. Some months, because of other ministry engagements and stuff, we don't get to have it, but then we meet just once to just have a time of fellowship in worship.
Happens
right?
in Kaduna, Zaria.
Yes.
Zaria, Kaduna.
It happens in Zaria, Kaduna State. For now, it's not limited to that, right? So we can hold the worship circle in Kaduna, we can hold the worship circle in Abuja. It's just that I'm in Zaria, right? In this season, right? I'm the convener of worship circle. So whenever I call, people will gather. So if I happen to be in Abuja and I call for the meeting, we'll gather in Abuja. Do you understand?
I do.
So it's not limited to Zaria.
So
but
like
then
a
it
moving
happens.
train.
Yeah, it has happened in Zaria all the times it has happened so far, right? Because I'm in Zaria, right? If for some reason I leave Zaria, then we'll probably have it wherever I am.
Okay.
Right. So I was still saying worship circle is a worship meeting we have. We just meet, we worship Jesus, both in old songs, and then we introduce new songs, right? We introduce new songs as a major part of what we do, but it's not like if we are not introducing new songs, we can't have worship circle. No. It's more about creating the culture of intimacy, right, with the Holy Spirit among believers, right, and being an inspiration to even people who are not believers, to worship God. Do you get?
Yes. So how long has that been for?
Worship Circle, the first edition happened in 2017, September.
Wow. That was like
5. We're in 2023, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 23.
6.
By September will be 6.
Aww.
Yeah.
Your baby's 6 years old. How do you feel?
I don't understand why you're calling my baby.
So what am I supposed to call it?
No, it's fine. It's really amazing. I really think about it, and I don't know how 6 years has passed, right? And the thing is still alive, right? It has always been a journey of faith. There was never a time that I knew that I had everything it took to make worship circle happen, but it keeps happening by the hand of God, right? So it really is amazing to see the impact, right? It's amazing. Like, it's amazing, right? The amount of reach that has happened, right, within that time. It's not very loud. Like, we are not everywhere on everybody's social media page and all that, but then the amount of impact I've received testimonies from all around the world, really, right? From what we are doing at Worshipper Circle. Amazingly, Worshipper Circle is like the chiefest of expressions of my music ministry. Do you get?
Yeah.
What I do as an artist is slightly different from what I do with worship ministry. When I tell people this thing, they get confused, but every worship song you've heard my voice on was put out from Worshipper Circle.
Wow.
Then the other songs that are not worship songs are the ones that are actually credited fully to Jakes Hinjari as a recording artist. Do you get? So
Yes.
songs like Mowa.mi, I have an EP, Let There Be Light, that's a Jakes Hinjari EP, right? I have the song Never Alone, that's a
Okay,
Jakes
so it's
Hinjari
like two
song.
expressions of yourself. There's Worship Circle and there's
Jakes
Hinjari.
Hinjari as an artist,
Artist.
then there's Jakes Hinjari as a worship minister.
That is in Worship Circle.
Yes, I'm not saying that it's limited to, but the chiefest of the expressions so far
Yes,
has been Worship Circle. Jakes Hinjari can still put out a worship song. Do you get?
I do.
A full-blown release that is Jakes Hinjari, but it's just a worship song. But largely so far it hasn't been like that, because if I'm putting out a song as an artist, I'm still trusting the Lord for grace to come to the place where I can conveniently put out a worship song as art. Do you get?
Yes.
Because I feel worship songs are designed for encounters with the Holy Spirit. They are not just for entertainment. Do you understand? Art is largely entertainment, but you can ride on entertainment to pass a message
across.
and all that. Do you get?
I do.
If I was, now, I hope this doesn't get confusing. There's a difference between a gospel minister, right? A gospel artist and a music minister. A gospel artist is an artist who takes the message of the gospel and puts on a song. Do you get?
Yes. But then a music minister.
No. A gospel artist.
artist.
Yes, does that. Then a music minister uses music for ministry. Ministry is service.
Yeah.
Do you get? So you use music to do that. It's difficult for me to, because when you do art, as much as it's about expressing yourself, is also largely also dependent on how people will perceive you, right? So you are trying to do something that people can relate with, which should also be true for worship ministry. But the way God wants us to serve people sometimes is not the way we think they will want best. In the temple, Jesus flogged some people. That was the way God wanted him to serve those people.
At that particular point in time.
But it's not what they would have wanted. Do you understand?
I believe so.
So that's what ministry is. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is largely is not about it's not so much about how you want to interpret it. It's more about the one you are representing, the people you are serving. Do you understand? But for gospel artistry, I'm just taking a message and putting it on gospel message and putting it on art. That's music. Do you get?
Yes. So I've really enjoyed the conversation so far, and one question I'll ask you is, of course, it's obvious that you're one who has spent a lot of time learning, acquiring knowledge and all of that, but aside that, what do you think are the things that have formed you as a person?
I think that have formed you.
Yes.
Besides acquiring knowledge in terms of reading.
Yes, reading, probably spending lots of time on the internet,
and
YouTube, and all of that.
Of course, I believe what shapes every human is experiences, right?
All right.
Even the book you are learning from is not the book, it's the experience you have with the book. Two people can read the same book and nothing
I've never
changes
thought about it that way.
about another one's life. Do you get? But something drastic happens to another person's life and he's transformed, right? So I feel it's really our experiences that shape us, right? So part of the things that have shaped me, one of the things I said, one major factor will be being born in the house I was born, having people that exposed me to music quite early, right? That's one major one probably. Same thing happened with my architecture, right? Why I decided to study architecture. My work with God and the Holy Spirit, largely within the last 10 to 15 years, right, were the major shifts that happened in working with God happened.
As you just said this 10 to 15, I'm just calculating my age. Like, how old am I? But that's by the side.
Anyways, I'm saying that's where the major things happened, like direction in terms of, okay, maybe it's like there's something in this music that is for me that I'm called to do, and about hearing God, about fine-tuning my message, what the Lord is sending me to do, who he's sending me to, all those things, why he will have me do things the way that I do. Because I believe the power in whatever it is we are doing is the conviction we have, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm just doing ministry now, for instance, because I like music, it will not be as powerful, and I might not last as much as I would last because I'm doing it based on a conviction I have. You get? So I think yes, that's another thing largely that shaped me. My work with God, right?
Yeah.
Generally, my immediate family. I said that in the beginning. My spiritual family, right? I've had friends, but it happens that most of my friends are still part of my spiritual family. So, you get?
Yeah. So it's like everything is intertwined.
Yes, those are the things that have really shaped me, I believe. Beyond just the actual steps I've taken to study materials and stuff like that.
So this is like another shade of the question, but if you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Do differently.
Yeah, not necessarily to do differently, but then
that's what this is.
what would you tell the younger? You said Jacob, although you say you know answer.
Funny enough, they don't call me Jacob in my house.
Really?
I have a tribal name.
It sounds like you're not going to tell us.
Why?
Oh, you have to. Oh.
No, I'm saying, why do you think it sounds like?
The way you said it, like, I wish people could see
many
his eyes.
people
Like,
know it,
really?
right? But maybe I should reserve it so that it's
mysterious.
I will sell it as NFT. I'll say I'll soon reveal my name.
Oh my god!
If you want to know it, it starts at $22,000. Maybe that's how I will blow.
Well, really?
Well, I do have a tribal name. It says Asimde. Asimde, short form is Asim. Simple. Asim, just like ASM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It means he knows, like God knows.
Oh.
Yes.
What tribe is that?
Name of my tribe is Donguda. We're from Adamawa State and Gombe State. But I'm from the Adamawa State side, yes.
I was about to do that whole Nigerian, my brother
Which
thing,
side?
but you just shifted. You just
Lagos
shifted from my
like
side. They told me that I have state of origin letter from Gombe, so I'm supposed to be from the north.
So now, all right. So that's my tribal name. So that as of that time they call me at home. It's Asim they call me. It was from when I came to Zaria to this point that the name Jakes came about.
Did you change it?
I didn't change it, like officially.
But Jakes is not your name now.
Jakes is my stage name now. Jakes Hinjari, that's my stage name
So
as an artist.
who now created the name?
It was friends that created it, Jakes, right? After they named me after the preacher T.D. Jakes.
Oh.
Yes. So when I said my name was Jacob, it was like, wow, Jakes. I know the exact person that first started it.
Who was that?
You probably don't know him, but the former chaplain of ABU, his son, one of his sons, Gaius, was the one that started the name Jakes. Then I was staying with my cousins. He was family friends with them. Their family were family friends with them. So the whole family was just Jakes. And that was the first place I stayed in Zaria. So that's how, from there, Jakes to the ends of the earth.
Wow.
So Jakes Hinjari, I adopted Jakes just for my stage name. Jakes Hinjari is my stage name. But then my actual name is Jacob. I'm thinking I'm going to officially add it to one of my names. Maybe I'll do a cut after that or something.
Maybe. But what would you tell the younger Jacob?
The younger Jacob. Or Asim.
Or Asim.
Maybe I'll say I'm grateful for my journey, because I think everything that has happened to me brought me here. I'll not be here if not for the journey. But then I would have said probably I should have really been a boy a bit more.
Really?
Like, just be a kid. Enjoy life.
You feel like you grew up too fast.
Don't think about too much things. I feel like I did. Right? Don't think too much into the future. Don't just enjoy being a small child. Do you understand? Even though no matter how mature you think you are as a child, you still were childish. But I feel like I was too not childish for my. I didn't to talk too much, but it's not because I was necessarily a shy person or afraid of talking. I probably guess maybe I felt like people cannot relate with if I say things I don't say to feel too high. Typically, right? Growing up, I've always had friends that were older than me, right? Except maybe school friends, like classmates, do you get? But the ones that I met outside were typically always older than me. I think it's even still true up till now. I have a lot of people that we relate with as contemporaries who are older, do you get? But we resonate at a level, do you get, that seems at par with each other, do you get? So probably that's what I would have told myself.
Calm down.
Just chill,
breathe,
be a boy, go and play with sand. I did play with sand, do you understand? But still, you know how, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel I would have told myself to be a child, to be more of a child than I actually was.
Okay, this is like a 12 question, but how do you feel when you think about Nigeria?
Nigeria, my country.
Your country.
Well, it's hard because many times I think of what it will take, because the truth is, right, we're not in a good place as a country, right, in terms of things working, in terms of an environment that enables creativity or enables productivity, do you get? And all that. We don't have those things, right? And the reason I said it's sad is because Nigerians are some of the most resilient people that are in the world. They are some of the most creative people that are in the world. And this is not even just because I'm in Nigeria and I'm hyping us. You see it across all spheres. If you have Nigerians outside Nigeria doing something in another country, we're always leading. Do you get?
Education, entertainment,
you see us
fashion,
everywhere doing it, right?
tech.
And sorry, I know there are people who are not believers that are hearing this, but then I believe that there's prophecy upon Nigeria, and it's not because God loves us more. It's the grand scheme of things that He's doing on the earth. Nigerians have a huge role to play. Probably that's why the devil is on our matter. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's sad when I see that a nation with so much potential, right? The people, the citizens of the nation barely get by, right? Like literally nothing, sorry before government people will come for me, but it's the truth, right? We literally have to create everything for ourselves. Do you get? Not that I am encouraging entitlement mentality or all those things, but we've seen other nations in the world, right? We've seen them, and cause it's community. What makes community is the fact that there is an enabling environment, right, that helps people be the best versions of themselves. Do you get?
And then you come back to serve that community.
Do you understand? That's the whole idea. But if we call ourselves a nation, which is just a very big community, right, and whoever the people that have been placed as leaders over that community cannot help in facilitating stuff that will make that community helps us to thrive, right? Is a sad thing really, because I know if Nigeria was working, we would be among the greatest nations in the world, right? It's very sad because many of the young people with a lot of potential were born into a system that was not working, and many of them have been programmed by a system that is not working. And then typically, when they have the opportunity to lead, they now reproduce what they saw. Do you understand? So it's really difficult. I know that for people that are already adults now, you'll probably not see Nigeria become
a great nation.
As in quotes, we can see the beginning of that journey or the birthing of the whole process. But okay, we can see the birthing of a new Nigeria, but we will not see it mature. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Maybe the generation that comes after are the ones that will not enjoy the fruits, because until you matured, you can't really bear fruit. Do you understand? So it will have to be like a whole generation will come that will be programmed afresh on how to do things correctly and all that. Then we will see a Nigeria that is truly the fullness of what God has designed that Nigeria will be on the earth, right? Emerge is what I think. So I love the country. I love Nigeria. I'm still Nigerian. but I'm a global citizen.
Okay.
Right? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and He's my Father.
Come on now.
You understand?
Come on now.
So is what I think. I'm not one of the people that want to japa. Do you get? But I'm neither one of the people that we must stay in this Nigeria till it works.
Yeah.
My philosophy is different. If the Lord has me in Nigeria, I'll stay in Nigeria. I'm not going anywhere. But if you have me move somewhere to fulfill what He has called me to do, then by all means I'm available and I'm willing to.
It's a good question, because all of this is circling around music. In this our current Nigeria, how much do you think it will cost to produce a song from
now,
start to finish?
Nigeria we can't it's not so much about Nigeria as it is about who is doing your work.
All right.
There's really no flat rate for production in Nigeria. It depends on the producer, the level of quality you can deliver, right? But then globally, I'm intentionally using globally, to produce a standard song is a range also. Many factors determine the charge. The value of the time of the producer, the experience of the time of the producer himself. Do you get? How gifted musically he is? All those things inform how people charge, right? But with $100, starting from $100,
Okay.
I know you've been hearing me talking in dollars, and
It's a good thing,
it's a
no?
mindset.
I'm glad. I'm literally
I
picking
don't
it.
want to say I've left Nigeria. I've not left Nigeria.
I'm literally picking out like more, starting like this.
But let's say starting from $100, right? You can get anywhere in the world, right? You can get a producer that will give you a fair job. Do you get? It might be difficult in some parts of the world, more difficult than in some, but a fair job on a song. In Naira, that would be a range of 70 to 80k up. You should be guaranteed that you find somebody that is good, that can deliver. Do you get? At that level, that's like the fairest rate, I think. Anything lesser is a 50-50 chance. The person can just do rubbish for you. You understand? Because one of the reasons people charge is because one of the reasons producers charge is because it takes resources to produce quality songs. Do you get? It takes more than one person. It's not just your producer that knows how to play everything. Yes, there are people that are like that, but if you really want to have a fuller experience, you have to engage other musicians, other singers, like background vocalists and all that, to make the song fuller, right? So by the time you factor in all those things, it will not be realistic to say you have a budget of even 30,000 naira. Do you get? And you want to get the quality of Nathaniel Bassey. Or do you get? It doesn't make sense. So, but then at least when you start talking from, like I said, $100, it's possible, right, to find a decent job around that. So in Nigeria, in Naira now, I'll say starting 70k upwards, you should be able to get a decent job, right? Personally, I produce that range too, right? Broadly speaking now, because I produce in Zaria. When I'm working for Zaria people, I don't produce them like I'll produce my typical clients. I'm very considerate. I produce Zaria people much lesser, right? I'm not going to say it so that it will not spoil.
Of course.
If you are coming, come with $100.
With your full money. Complete money.
At least, and $100 is for now. As the Lord is helping us as we are growing, $100 will not do again. Yep. So I hope I answered that question.
Yes, you did. And then it just makes me think that there's a lot of things that go into like creating music, and the least the artists ask for is just listen to my song or just share it. And do you think that, I will not say like a compensation, but do you think it's fair that all the artist needs for you is just to listen to the song and probably share it? I know that they get payment from platforms and all, but then it feels somehow, I don't know.
Well, truly we deserve more compensation. I'm talking on behalf of the creative industry of Nigeria. Is beyond music, right? I'm intentionally saying that. Sorry, I'm not part of any creative industry. Maybe we'll start it.
Maybe you.
Right? I'll be the president. You'll be the financial officer.
No wala.
So I will say, for an artist, your fulfillment should come not just from how much you make from what you do, right? You should be more fulfilled that you are impacting lives, that you are touching lives, that people are being blessed by what you do, right?
Yeah.
But then it takes resources
To
create what we do, to put them out. It takes resources. So it's on that basis that I'll say it really doesn't seem fair that all people do is share. That's after you beg them.
To even
people will
listen.
not even share. Do you understand? The tricky part is, if your art is not good, people don't have to listen to it. Do you get why should they listen to it? So there's the part of the musician doing his homework to ensure that the craft, the art is excellent, right?
Yeah.
And creative enough to bless people, right? But then if it is creative enough, it is entertaining enough, right? I feel the artist deserves more than just the
likes and shares.
the likes and shares we get. Some people don't even stream. They will say, send it to me on WhatsApp.
Wow.
You understand? It's not fair. So if you are hearing this and you have a brother that is an artist, encourage them.
Honestly.
Encourage them. That sharing you are doing is trying, but you can do more.
By
Right?
streaming.
At least make sure you share, stream. In fact, if you can, dash them money. You get?
Yeah.
Just dash them money for no reason. Just say, you've blessed me. I know this music thing is not easy. Take this 5k.
I believe so.
Of course, there were times that before the advent of streaming and all that, the only way you put out stuff is hard copy. Cassettes, CDs, the vinyl we were talking about earlier.
Just tapes.
Yes.
That one that you
it.
put inside and it will be like rectangle.
And
That's
that's
tape,
the
ba?
cassette. Yeah,
Oh,
tape.
that's
It's the same thing.
okay.
Yeah. But tape is a broader expression than cassette. Do you get? We're not talking about technicalities right now. So,
Alright.
anyways, in those days you could sell those stuff and make money from them. But now the age of streaming on social media is everything is virtual, soft copy. Do you get? So if I'm releasing a song, I'm just going to release it online, right? So how I will really make money from it is either by people streaming. Some people sell, right, on certain platforms, but it doesn't work so well. I think largely streaming has worked best, more than buying a copy of the song and having it on your
Like
phone. That's
Apple
you buy
Music.
to download. Yes. Streaming has worked better because of cloud storage and all that. Now people don't even want to have stuff on their phones like that, right? So streaming has worked. That's one of the cheapest ways artists can make money. Either that or, and generally streaming, because royalties come from not just people listening to your songs on Spotify, but if they use your song in movies and yeah,
all those
you can
Instagram reels.
you can get placements for that. Yeah, all those are streams. They are still streams. You get, somehow they will convert to part of the reasons they even introduce that is so that they will help artists whose songs are going everywhere do a bit more. So now if I put a video, like I'm playing a song in the background and Instagram detects it, they can strike the video. Do you get? And say I am playing a song that I don't have permission to
use.
So the easiest way to do it is to just go to that real add song, then you now add a song. That way the artist already is getting royalties from it. Yeah. So playing your songs or music on TV, movies, TV shows, you get royalties for that also. Or if you get endorsements by brands, you understand, that's another way to get money. Then of course, if people support you, partnerships, they just give you money.
Brand ambassadorship.
You understand? Yeah. That's the way artists can make money now, right? So I think the challenge for every artist will be just continue blessing people, right? Bless them to the point that they want to bless you back, right? But then our people, you need to try a bit more for us, we the artists.
Honestly.
Yeah, so that's that. I think.
Thank you so much. This has been like it has truly been music for dummies, because starting this episode, if you did not have any knowledge of music, at least you do have.
Yeah.
And then wrapping up, there's this question I ask all our guests. So what movie, song and book are you currently hooked on?
I'm reading right now. I'm watching.
Yes.
Okay, I've been trying to see one movie for just maybe 1 week.
Okay.
The name is I've probably seen like 50% of it. Maybe I'll watch small again when I go. What's the name? Sounds of the Forest or Sounds of the Jungle or something like that. I don't even remember the name, but it has to do with bush and sound.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's the movie I'm seeing. Song, I don't understand the song you are listening to currently.
Okay, so because you are into music, you listen to a lot of things.
Yes.
Okay, let's say the song you've been hooked on. Say a song you've been repeating and repeating.
It will probably still be Oceans by Hillsong.
Oh.
Yeah, I love the song, and it's one of the songs I use for personal meditation time, quiet time, because of how calm it is and all that. And then what it's saying, I love the message in the song too. Powerful. So I think music, that would be it. Then for books, I have a book I'm not done with, but it's not the only thing I'm reading. I don't know whether it's an effective way to
read,
grow or read, but I don't read just one book at once. There are a number of things I'm studying at the same time. You get, of course, there are exact areas that all of them revolve around. Do you get?
Yeah.
But then not just one book. I'm reading Robert Kiyosaki's Guide to Investment. Right, I'm still reading that. Then generally I'm reading on finances and faith. There are the two things I'm working on, right? So Guide to Investment, finances, right? There are other books that are faith based but also finance, right? I just read Sunday Adiraja's what's the name?
I don't know.
It's a very popular book. Oh Jesus, I can't remember the name. It's on finance, I just finished it. Sorry, I'm bad with names. Say I don't even know the name of the film I'm watching. But
right.
It's on finance too. Then what else am I reading? I'm reading quite a number of books on faith too. I can't even tell you who wrote what. I shall know there's Kenneth Hagin. There has to be, right? I'm reading something by, what's this person's name? Hey. When I remember, I'll tell you. It's one of our Nigerian church's founders.
Is it?
It's not
Oyedepo.
No, it's not Oyedepo. It's one of the not very popular churches, either MFM or CAC. You get? They are very popular, but their founders are not very.
Yes.
He's the one that wrote the one I'm reading. Oh.
But in talking about your reading culture, because I'd never even thought about the fact that you can read many books at the same time.
No, like me.
That one is
right?
You. But then I'm actually now thinking about it. And I'm like, it does make sense, because I've seen people say, the way I read, I just open the book. When I reach the place that I get what I need from the book, I just close it and go. Then maybe next 2 weeks or next year I'll come back and I'll continue. So it's like they just open the book, pick what they need and they move. Some people, they try to understand the line.
I do that for some books, but it's books I've read back to back. So I know what this book has. Memory will make that, the failure of memory will make that you forget some of the things.
Yeah.
You might remember peripheral. So when I need details, I go back to certain books I've read before to just speak exact things, just to sharpen my skill on that thing. Do you understand? Or my knowledge on that area. That's books I do that for. But then before I do that for a book, I have to have read it
completely.
You get all through first, at least once.
But
So
it's a beautiful one. Thank you. Because of course we've been trying to get you on the pod for like the longest time. And this is not going to be the last time, of course.
it's like you have to break this episode into a number of releases.
Well, depending on how long it is. But really, thank you so much. We are
You're
grateful.
welcome.
Would you do us
Thank
the
you.
honors of signing out?
All right.
No. Like, hi, my name is... And, oh yes, we did not ask. Where can we find you online?
Oh yeah, I'm on social media. Jakes Hinjari. Jakes Jakes Hinjari.
All right.
Jakes Hinjari. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Yes.
TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. I'll get on TikTok by God's grace.
All right.
But I need. It just doesn't occur to me. It's one of the signs that start telling me that I'm getting
Yeah, getting
older.
older. Millennial.
But I'm gonna be
On
on
TikTok.
TikTok real soon by God's grace.
What about Worshipper Circle?
Yeah, Worshipper Circle.
And the songs from Worshipper Circle.
Worshipper Circle on Facebook, Worshipper Circle on IG.
All right.
YouTube, we still use my account, personal Jakes Hinjari account for any Worshipper Circle videos. But that's it for Worshipper Circle. Songs, what do you mean? Like songs we've put out or
Yes.
songs that...
Songs you've put out, songs Worshipper Circle has put out.
Yeah, like I mentioned during the podcast, I have put out an EP, a Jakes Hinjari EP, Let There Be Light. It's not even online right now. Like,
Okay.
It was online for 5, 6, 7 years if I'm not mistaken. But then it's currently not online, but I'll get it back up soon. Properly now on streaming platforms and all
Okay.
that. It was up for free download then.
Oh.
It's probably online on some sites, but not officially, because people will pirate. They will go and
Actually.
download and put on their own platforms. So that's Jakes Hinjari, Let There Be Light, Jakes Hinjari, Mowa.mi, Jakes Hinjari, Too Much, Jakes Hinjari, what's the name? Never Alone, Jakes Hinjari, Masoyina featuring Fari Helpona, Jakes Hinjari, Forever. Those ones were for sale, Masoyina and Forever. So many people don't know about the songs. I put them out for sale strictly.
Yeah.
Very few people, but it's no longer available.
Oh wow.
Maybe in the future I'll put it out as a vintage.
I
But
thought
then
you wanted to say
that's Jakes
vinyl.
Hinjari. Worshipper Circle. We have 3 projects or 4 projects from Worshipper Circle. We have 4 projects. First project Genesis, a 9-track album. Second project
Exodus.
second project Unstoppable rather. Yes. 14-track project. Third project Living Sacrifice, 15-track project. Fourth project Overflow, 8-track project. Singles For Your Glory from Worshipper Circle. Those are the major releases we've had.
That's like over 50, ba. I'm here
Close to,
13, 14,
at
12,
least
8.
close to 50, I think.
Wow.
Yes, 40 there about for 50.
Well
It's
done.
maybe it's up to 50. I didn't count. Yes, it should be around 50. Yes, very true. Yeah, we have those out. We are still working on stuff. Nothing certain in terms of release date and all that yet. But then more stuff are coming. Going forward in the future, we'll probably hear more from Jakes Hinjari.
And the Worshipper Circle.
Yes, we might hear more from Jakes Hinjari individually. We should still keep hearing from Worshipper Circle. That's that. Thank you very much.
All right then. Do find him on social media. Don't forget to like,
Yeah.
share, stream the podcast. It's very
him, ask for his
important.
account number, send him money,
Send
send
him
him DM
money.
and say, give me your account number.
Donate. Buy. Do they still buy music?
Stream.
Stream. And stream our podcast too. Share to your friends, family, and enemies.
I was going to add this. For the project from Worshipper Circle, currently we only have Overflow on streaming platforms
Alright.
and the single For Your Glory. But then we're watching to put up the others on streaming platforms also, so they are temporarily down. They are not online. We'll put them out and announce them again officially, so people can get them.
But then if you follow the podcast on Instagram, you get to find out latest information from him and And watch Paseku. Yes. And on TikTok and all of that. So do follow us on all our social media platforms. Till we come your way next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
Peace.
God bless you.